Cindy, and today I wanted to show you another great project using paper layers from Megan Elizabeth. Now, if you've been watching Megan, she has shown several videos over the past few weeks using a Cricut machine and the eCraft machine, both using paper layers to make her super cute projects. But today I'm going to make a really fun project for you using one sheet of paper layers and my Cameo. I know some of you may have a Cameo also, and I'm very excited to say that the Cameo works great with paper layers. I'm going to be utilizing the basic software that came with my Cameo, and a couple of the images are from the Silhouette store that I purchased from Silhouette. So first, let's take a look at the paper layers that we'll be using. This is the paper layer. One way that you can buy paper layers is in a pack, and it's a 24-page pack, and it has all of the awesome paper. And for those of you who are not familiar with paper layers, this is paper that Megan Elizabeth created, and it basically has 9 4-inch blocks on the front side of your paper, and the back side is one coordinating 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. So we're going to make a project today using the block side and the 12 by 12 piece. Okay, so first let's walk on over to my computer screen so that you can see zoom on in. There we go. So there is the mat on my computer screen with the Silhouette software. And you'll notice that I have several images, and the images are positioned on the paper exactly, or on the mat, exactly where I want them to cut on the paper layers paper. So for instance, now let's take a look back here. We're going to go back down to the paper. And on the paper, you will notice that I had the flower. There was a flower in the center, so that's going to cut in the pink. And then the background will be in the brown. And then I actually have a little box that's going to cut over here in the lower left-hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead and load this up on my machine, and I'll be back with the cut piece. Okay, so now I've got my paper layers cut out on my mat. And I want to show you how awesome this is. So first I'm going to pull up here on the bottom and just pull up on the paper layers off of my, look how easy that just came right off of that mat and left the image on the mat. It's just really awesome. So first I'm going to take off on the bottom here. I've got this is actually going to make, I think they call it a sour cream box is what we're going to make. But see, on one side it had the squares, but I'm not using that side. I'll be using the 12 by 12 side. So now I've got my box or gift that we'll be making, and I'm just going to glue it together like that and make, you've seen those sour cream containers before, I'm sure. But this is going to be the base of the project. And then the next piece, I have the brown flower that I cut out of the brown piece of the cardstock. Now this is the piece I want to show you because it's so awesome. Let's kind of zoom in on this so you can see this. This is so detailed, and I'm going to carefully, I tried to make sure my mat wasn't too sticky, go underneath the image. That's really the only problem I would see with this, is if the mat is too sticky, it's not going to come up very easily. So we're working on that. And you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. See how these little pieces come out. This thing is so intricate, and really, I don't think I could have cut this on anything else but paper layers. So I'm just going to slowly and carefully go underneath of this flower. And again, you just want to be super careful. The machine and the paper cut beautifully. The only way this might get destroyed is if I mess up trying to get it off the mat. And again, I was trying to make sure my mat wasn't too terribly sticky. so that I wouldn't tear anything. But I did not do that great of a job. Alright, aha, there we go. So you guys can see this. Is that not awesome? Look at that. The paper just falls out. The only mess is the mess I made with my spatula trying to get it off. And even, I don't know if you guys can even see those little bitty dots. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? It just cut all those little bitty dots out. Now I'm going to have to take a poker and get all of those out. So I'll do that in a minute and set this aside and get my poker and get all those little dots out. But I just want to show you the detail that you can cut out with the paper layers. It's just unbelievable. Okay, now we're ready to assemble our the little sour cream container. So I'm just going to use this red sticky tape, and let's see, I'm going to put it here. And I have found that you really need to use strong adhesive on these sour cream containers because of the way that the paper folds. If it doesn't have a strong adhesive, it's not going to hold very well. So the other thing is I want to go ahead and put some adhesive on the inside, on like that, and also on the inside on the other side. There we go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take the adhesive off on the outside. So this red tape has got a siding piece that comes off. And we're basically just going to match up the dots. So this is a scallop. So I'm going to match up the scallop on both sides so that it's straight. And then just make sure that it's adhered together. Alright, so we have a tube. And now what we'll do is take off the adhesive on one side, on the inside. And we're basically, now I'm going to take this where the seam is in the center, and I'm going to squeeze it, centering up the scallops so that they match. So that's one side of the sour cream tube. Now, the other side of the tube is going to go the opposite direction. That's why it was important to use this red tape, because once you, since the paper is going in different directions, it puts pressure on those seams, and we want to make sure that they're really nice and tight. So normally what I would do is fill my container with whatever I'm going to put in it, candy or a gift or whatever it might be, and then I would actually close the container up. But for this purpose, I'm not putting anything in it, so I'm just going to go ahead and close up the other side, matching up the scallops again, and there we've got our container. So when your recipient receives your gift, they can just tear it open, and the gift, if it's candy, it will just fall out. If it's a little gift for a child, or it'll be inside. So anyway, it's just a cute and simple container. Now we're going to make it cuter than just this by decorating it with the flower that we cut from the paper layers paper. So here we've used one sheet of paper, and I'll show you again. We've used one sheet of paper. We've cut, here's the base for our sour cream container, and here's the two pieces from the paper, from the pink and the brown for the flower. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to use the green and the it's kind of a yellowish color also in decorating our box, but I'll get to that in just a moment. So first I'm going to go ahead and put our flower together. And again, you'll notice how delicate this is. It just, I'm telling you, paper layers just cuts beautifully. I don't know very many very many different papers that you'd be able to get this super delicate cut with. But before, so the thought is that we're going to layer, to figure out which way this goes, we're going to layer this on top of that brown cardstock. And there we come up with the key of the whole paper. It's called paper layers. So you can actually layer your make your piece out of one piece of cardstock. So before I do that, I want to do something real quick. Let's see, I thought I had the brown. Here we go. So one of the new products that Megan has come out with to coordinate along with paper layers are her little ink pads. And these are great to ink along the edges of your paper. All of the paper layers has some white core inside, and so for those of you who don't like to see the white core, the ink coordinates perfectly with the paper layers colors, and you can ink around the edges just like I'm doing, and you can hide that core, white core cardstock. Isn't that awesome? Alright, so we've done that. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this delicate little flower to the brown. Before I do that, I'm going to use a spray adhesive. Because that's so delicate, I want to make sure. I'm just going to lay a piece of cardstock out here. And, oops, I'm going to flip it over so I get the back side. And I'm just using a Elmer's multi-purpose spray adhesive. It's a permanent adhesive, and I think I just bought it at Michael's or Joann's. And I'm just basically going to cover the back side with the spray adhesive. Pick it up, and then layer it on top of the brown cardstock. There, and that's so much easier than messing and fiddling around with glue. Now, if you have a Xyron machine, you could use a Xyron machine. I don't like to use the Xyron because it leaves kind of, I call them little glue boogers all over my project that I'm making, and the spray adhesive doesn't, so I like the spray adhesive. But it's really whatever works for you. Okay, so we're going to decorate this, we're going to jazz this flower up a little bit, and one of the ways we're going to do that is with another product that Megan has come out with, and these are called Starlights. Aren't they just beautiful? They have the most awesome shine to them, like lights. I mean, they're just beautiful. So what I'm going to do is put 3 of these on the center of this flower. See that? And I put little glue dots on the back, and the glue dots that I'm using are from Glue Arts, and these are the glue dots that Megan has her name on, and they fit perfectly on the back of these beautiful starlights. So the thought now is we have the sour cream container, and now we have our beautiful flower, and that can go in the front of the container. But we still need a couple other things. So what I wanted to show you was, in addition to using a die cutting machine, you can also use your dies, your Cuttlebug, or Big Shot, or whatever die cutting machine you have with different dies. So I'm using my Cuttlebug, and I'm going to cut some leaves out. Now, I happen to have some leaf dies from Paper Tray Ink. So I'm going to use this die and cut some green leaves. Now, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to cut from this square. I'm going to cut all the way over and get those 2 pieces of green. And I'm going to do 1 green. Let's see if you can see this. I'm going to do 1 die on the lighter green. So we'll run that through the die machine. There I've got the light green leaf. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the darker green that was left over from cutting the box. And so see, you can use your paper layers any way that you would like. I love the fact that I can use them with my die cutting machine, my Cuttlebug, my dies, anything that I choose to cut with. All right, and then there's my darker green leaf. All right, so we're going to do one more die from Paper Tray Ink. I've got these really super cute banner dies. And these actually have two dies on, the long and a short one. We're going to use the shorter one. And I'm going to use this yellowish paper that we had left over from making our box. So again, I'm going to put the die on here. And the C plate, and we'll cut right through. There we go. And now I have cut out, whoops, a long and a short banner. And we're going to be using the short banner for this project. All right, so let me move these things out of the way. Now, so I'm making one project using one sheet of Paper Layers paper. Wouldn't this be an awesome idea if you had a bridal shower or a wedding or a birthday party, and you could make the thank you gift or the party favor all from one piece of cardstock? Sure would make things much more simpler. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just glue these leaves on the back of my flower. No particular order. But I think I'm going to edge around the edges just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of depth. Not a lot, just in some places. And I'm using the brown. This is called Wrap Me in Chocolate. Ooh, that sounds good. Okay. And you will notice that the inks are very juicy and wet, and that's perfect for inking around the edges. So I'm just going to add some glue to the back of those leaves, and I'm just going to have my leaves kind of coming out like that. There we go. And then this will go on the front of our sour cream container. All right, now one more thing, what to do with this cute little label. So what I wanted to do is stamp a sentiment on here. And I'm going to be using a sentiment from Emma, My Creative Time. So let's open that up. And the one that I'll be using, let's see, Just for You. That sounds. So this could be used for a birthday party or a wedding, maybe a bridal shower gift, for the take-home gifts for the people who attend, whatever you would like, but just so simple. So I'm going to ink up my stamp, and center that, and there we go. Alright, so let's put this little gift package together. So what I wanted to do was pop that up on some pop dots. So I'll be using the You Cut It from Glue Arts. And what I like about this foam adhesive is that you cut it yourself. Nothing's so aggravating to me than to get one of those big dots and it doesn't fit. So, because this is a long piece, I can just cut a strip to go along. Oops. I'll just do it like that. Take off the back on one side, put it across there, take off the other side, and see it's done in all one piece. I don't have to mess with cutting 4 different dots or anything like that. So we'll just center that on the front. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my flower on with the foam adhesive also. So I'm just going to cut a big square for that to put in the center of the flower. Like that. And here we go. Isn't that cute? Simple little party favor, gift idea, all out of one piece of paper. How awesome would that be if you have to do a bridal shower or a birthday party gift and you just had to pick up one sheet of paper for every little treat that you needed to make? I just think it's awesome. Thanks for watching and have a great day.